North Korea's top negotiator said late on Saturday that working-level nuclear talks in Sweden between officials from Pyongyang and Washington had been broken off, dashing prospects for an end to months of stalemate. The North's chief nuclear negotiator cast the blame on what he portrayed as U.S. inflexibility. There was no immediate response from the U.S. side. Swedish broadcaster TV4 reported U.S. Special Representative for North Korea, Stephen Biegun, who led the U.S. team, had arrived back in the country's embassy in central Stockholm. Women Cross the DMZ is a peace movement that links women on both sides of the militarized border between North and South Korea. Its executive director is Christine Ahn. She says a dangerous situation is being made worse by chaos in the White House.
Things are at a very serious impasse since talks broke down in Hanoi 7 months ago. It appeared that the U.S. were ready to come back to talks with a fundamentally different approach. And I think that set pretty high expectations from the North Koreans that the U.S. was committed to transforming the U.S.-North Korea relationship, but it seems as if they are still singularly focused on denuclearization, and that just won't work. We cannot expect North Korea to unilaterally disarm, given the history of the Korean War, given the fact that we destroyed 80% of that country, and given what we have done to other countries, such as Libya, Iraq, and elsewhere. We have to change the relationship. And the unfortunate thing is that to achieve denuclearization requires peace. And the North and the South Koreans, as we know, a year ago, Moon Jae-in, the South Korean president, and Kim Jong-un had met. They signed two major declarations in both Panmunjom at the DMZ and also in Pyongyang, where they set forth a really radical, transformative process to achieve peace and to end war. And unfortunately, the U.S.-North Korea talks being stalled, U.S. being so obsessed with denuclearization without recognizing that peace and normalization must come first, or in a step-by-step approach, has really delayed that peace process between North and South Korea. So it's a huge loss, and I'm not sure what happened, but we have to hear what the U.S. side says. But unfortunately, there's a part of me that's not surprised, given the kind of closed-mindedness and belief that further strangling North Korea is going to achieve denuclearization. It just won't work.
John Bolton, National Security Advisor, known as a hardliner and a hawk, he's left. That hasn't changed anything. Pompeo's continuing the same kind of bellicose policies. And whatever happened to Donald Trump and all of this?
That's a very good question. I think that's why the North Koreans also felt that, John Bolton and Trump getting rid of him, he was obviously a huge obstacle. He has a long history of not liking any kind of agreement and has been the one that has the most successful agreement that the U.S. negotiated with North Korea in 1994 during the Clinton administration was the agreed framework. That froze North Korea's nuclear weapons program. It began the process of totally eliminating it. And unfortunately, John Bolton, as soon as Bush and the axis of evil came into power, he was quick to completely do away with it. So we thought that with him out of the picture, there was actually the possibility Stephen Biegun, who our delegation has met with and has stayed in communication with, we had hoped that he understood the need for a pragmatic step-by-step approach. I'm not sure what's going on. Clearly, the administration is in total chaos, especially with everybody focused on impeachment and Donald Trump clearly losing it even more. And so who knows what's going on in that circus of that administration. It is a huge missed opportunity. Our sense was that Trump viewed a breakthrough with North Korea as an important diplomatic win that is good for the United States. Whether it's negotiated in a Republican or a Democratic administration, it is a win for the United States. It's a win for Americans because this is the longest standing U.S. conflict. It has been 70 years. It has set forth the military-industrial complex. It has led to unnecessary militarization of the peninsula, of the region, and it's time to have a new chapter. And Korea is a very easy lift. Korean people want an end to the war. The leaders have expressed the will of the people. 8 out of 10 South Koreans want there to be a peace agreement to end the war. This is something that our allies in the region want. And so I really hope that something can be done soon, because we are running out of time. You may recall, Kim Jong-un said that they have set the timetable. And as we saw, the submarine launch, it wasn't a long-range missile, but they are clearly advancing their capability, and it's sending a message to the United States. We're ready to negotiate with you, but we are not going to concede to a unilateral disarmament.
And that was Christine Ahn, the executive director of Women Cross the DMZ.